Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rylie Lane, and if you are new here, make sure to hit that little subscribe button down there, and if you do enjoy this video, give me a big thumbs up. So, oh my god, I literally cannot believe I am here filming this video. I have been in London for 2 years on the day you are seeing this video, and that is just crazy to me. 2 years in London. What the actual hell? Like, if you guys have been following on my journey, I have done like a 6-month update and I did a 1-year update, and I thought, like, you know, we're here at 2 years, like, let's see what the difference is. So you can go and watch those videos if you want. I mean, I've really been on YouTube like a lot of the time I've been here. I've done all moving vlogs, I've done so much. And what's actually been super rewarding about it is, like, I've actually had people come up to me that I've seen over here in London being like, oh my god, Rylie, like, I watched your videos before I moved over and you literally helped me so much. You, like, answered so many questions and, like, all that good stuff. So I thought that I would be here on my 2 years so that if any of you are thinking about moving over or wondering what's going to happen after you've been here for 2 years, here is my update. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I feel like I'm just going to compare everything in my life right now to where it was 2 years ago. So, first of all, should we just talk about straight up visa situation? So originally when I moved here, I was on the youth mobility visa, which anyone who lives in a Commonwealth country and is under 31 can get. Super easy visa to get. So I've been on that for 2 years, and that literally will expire today. So that's crazy. So obviously I'm planning to stay. I mentioned that in like my little update video a while ago. So I've had a bit of a whirlwind trying to get my next visa. I am going to be moving on to the UK ancestry visa because my grandma on my dad's side is Scottish. She was born here in Scotland, but then moved to Australia, and she was in Australia most of her life anyway. But basically through her I can get an ancestry visa. So normally you would have to fly back to Australia to apply for that visa, and it takes about 3 weeks to process, and you go and do that. So that would be the normal process if, say, you were going to follow my route and it wasn't coronavirus. But right now we are going through a global pandemic and it's coronavirus, so things have been a bit crazy trying to get that done. The government had basically said they had changed the rules where you would be able to switch in country and apply here in the UK, where you would regularly have to go back home. But they only did that up to July 31st, and my visa ends on August 18th. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I was full on planning that I was gonna have to go back to Australia, do quarantine, it was gonna be a shit show. Then all of a sudden, like, I'm from Melbourne. Melbourne went into like stage 4 lockdowns. Literally, I'm not taking any international flights at the moment. So I was like, whoa, literally. My plan, honestly, was to go and just travel around Europe, stay in Spain for a while until I just figured out what to do. I was like, I literally can't go back to Australia right now. But luckily, so basically July 31st was a Friday. On the Monday, I was like, shit, we've got to figure something out. So I spoke to an immigration lawyer and I was like, what are my options? What can I do? And they said, there's a tiny little loophole where they've got some weird wording on the government website that, like, to me doesn't make me sound like I could apply in country, but to the lawyers were like, yeah, no, you definitely apply for that. So I was like, oh my god, what? This was the Monday. The application had to be in by the Friday for me to be able to switch in country at that point in time. So had the consultation on Monday, had a proper appointment with the actual lawyer on Tuesday. Wednesday filled out an insane amount of forms, like everything, all my documentation, all the information about me, like where I've travelled to for the past 10 years, how many times I've been to the UK, like all the information about my family and how that descent works with like my grandma. I had to like list people that I knew here in the UK and give their details, so I don't know, I guess in case like the Home Office wants to call them or something, I don't know, but it was so intense. I had to get so much information. I had to show like bank statements, like my lease agreement here, bills, information from my work to show that I'm employed. Anyways, it was just crazy. So basically I spent the whole entire Wednesday doing that. They wanted to get the application in by Thursday in case anything happened, so that they had the Friday to fix it. So basically within that time, on the Wednesday, the government had changed the rules to anyone whose visas end on August 31st can apply to, up until August 31st, people can apply in country. So I literally went through all of that stress for basically no reason and paid an extortionate amount of money to a visa office that I really didn't need to do, because normally that application would have been so simple, but because it's like this weird coronavirus like can't apply kind of situation. It was like I had no idea what to do, so I paid so much money for a lawyer to do it for me. But anyways, I've got the peace of mind that that was all done and sorted for me. So my current situation is you kind of go into like a bridging type visa, where my working rights just stay the same of my current like youth mobility visa until a decision is made. So I can stay here, I can work here, and that is all fine. Only problem is I'm actually not allowed to leave the country now, so I'm really devastated about that. I would love to have gone on like a Euro summer trip. Now things are slowly starting to open up. So I'm like, fingers crossed it doesn't take too long to get done and I can still get a Euro trip in, I don't know. So I don't have to go for my biometrics appointment, which is a great result, which is where you go and give your fingerprints and a photo. They already have my information from last time, so I'm literally just basically waiting for them to say, yep, it's all good, and send me a biometrics card. So, sorry, I rambled on a lot for my visa situation, but a lot of people are interested and asked me questions, so there you go. I feel like that's a full in-depth update. So, like other areas of my life, my job, let's go into that because it's just top of my mind. I still work at the same place. I absolutely love my job so much. Yeah, just like all good vibes from there. I mean, we're currently working from home because of coronavirus and like don't really foresee us going back into the office permanently, like at least for the rest of the year, they've pretty much said. So that's a whole weird vibe, but I mean, working from home's fine. If you've watched my house tour, I've got such a cute little desk set up and that is all going super well. I guess like travel updates, because obviously like I did do a lot of travel content on my channel before we stopped traveling. But like throughout my 2 years, whoa, I don't even know how many countries I traveled to be honest. I know that last year I went to 10, did I go to 10 countries? Or did I make that number up? Where did that number come from? I don't know, I feel like I made that up. But last year I went away somewhere, like out of the UK, at least once a month over summer. Like it was insane amounts, like almost twice a month, most of like this across the summer months. I've just done so much traveling. I've honestly had the best time with it. And I totally recommend like doing as much traveling as you can, like saving your money to go traveling if you're going to be here on that two-year youth mobility. Like I feel like I've absolutely made the most of it. And I guess now I don't really foresee myself doing as much travel just because like I pretty much ticked everything off my list. The very last place is Iceland, and obviously that is so expensive, so that will be a trip, but I kind of just more see myself going away like a few times a year but for like a week, whereas like before I was going away like twice a month for like 3 or 4 days like over the weekend. So I think that will like change a bit now, well, once like coronavirus lets us travel again, like properly. So that's kind of what I reckon will happen with my traveling type things, but of course keep pulling out the traveling content when we can, because isn't it so fun to watch? I mean, I personally love it and I hope you guys do too, because I mean otherwise you probably wouldn't be here, would you? So yeah. Other situation, I guess obviously, well, if you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that I have a boyfriend now, so that is definitely something that has completely changed. Since I very first moved here, honestly, when I first moved here, I was like, there's no way I would find a British boyfriend. Are you serious? Like, oh, what? No. I love Aussie boys. Well, here I am, a year later. We have been together for almost a year now, which is crazy. And I guess nicely segues into like my living situations. So when I first moved here, I moved with my friend Steph, if you remember her from back in those videos. So we originally lived together in a 2-bed flat when I first moved here. So yeah, that was the first house I lived in, and then she decided she wanted to leave and go back to Australia, so then I moved into a flat share and I lived there for almost a year, and now recently I've just moved here with Connor and one of our other friends, Emma, so another little 2-bed place, and honestly just love this house so much. It's just such a vibe. I just don't know, you know, when you're just like, oh, this is just where I'm meant to be. So yeah, I totally love our little house. The whole entire time I've basically lived on the same side of London. I honestly could not see myself living anywhere else. I just love this area so much. It's just me, you know? And like so many of my friends live in this area, so like why would I just randomly go and live on like the other side of London? Don't know. I feel like it's just so well connected. It's easy for work. Like yeah, I just definitely love this area and will continue living here. Like the other thing I wanted to talk about was, Originally when I moved here, I was like, I didn't originally go for the ancestry visa, which is a 5-year visa. I was like, absolutely no way would I stay for 5 years. I was like, that is such a long time, like, no. And so I was like, I'll just go the 2-year youth mobility. Is a bit easier to get. You didn't have to provide as much documentation and it was a bit cheaper. So I was just like, yeah, I was like, yep, I'll do that. And now, like, I wouldn't say it's regret, but like, it would have made my life a lot more easier had I got the 5-year visa. But like, the thing I was thinking about today when I was like, holy shit, I've been here for 2 years, was that like at the 2-year point, I feel like maybe the last 6 months to maybe even 3 months, even though we've been in lockdown a lot of it, but even like the past few months, like I just feel like I am like, you've truly set up like a base here and you have all your friends and you know your areas and you have your job, and like that takes a long time to establish. Like that definitely took easily a year for me to like make like proper friends and have like a friendship group. And I mean, like, friendships do take that long to actually be like really strong, proper friendships. So that took like at least a year, and then like the rest of it, you're kind of just still settling in and like figuring things out. So like once you get to that 2-year mark, it's sort of like, not finally, but like right now I'm like, oh, my life is just so set up here. Like it would be a lot to leave right now because I feel like I haven't made the most of it. Does that make sense? So I can totally see like why. I mean, obviously now I'm here at my 2-year point, and like so many people want to stay after the 2 years. Like you see so many people trying to get like sponsorships or stay on for longer reasons. Like a few of my Aussie friends I've made here are trying to get sponsorships or are staying for another year because like 2 years just isn't enough. So I don't know, I feel like that's just something to keep in mind if you are watching this because you are like applying for a visa and thinking about moving over here, but like you're unsure if you have the option to get a visa that is a longer one, or if you have the option to get a passport or like something like that. I don't know, I feel like just go for it because it can't hurt. And the other thing is about me going for youth mobility versus ancestry, they've upped the prices of the healthcare surcharge. So you pay, your visa fee is split into 2 sections. You pay for the actual processing fee of like the actual visa, and you also have to pay for a healthcare surcharge, which basically goes to the NHS, and you have to pay a certain amount for every year your visa's for, regardless if you're going to stay here or not. So I've had to pay 5 years of the healthcare surcharge for this current visa when I'm not going to stay here for 5 years. Like I'll definitely be back before then, but they don't give you an option, you have to pay that much. And basically in the 2 years I've been here, that price has increased, and it's going to increase again in October. So I would have actually saved so much money had I done the ancestry visa originally. But at the end of the day, it's like a whatever thing. I want to stay here. You always make more money, like I've paid for it now, and this is where I want to be. I want to be here with Connor and all of that. So yeah, I mean, you just kind of accept it. So I feel like that is everything. That is like an update for my 2 years. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get like, you know, sometimes just like a little nosy into like where everyone's life is at. So I hope that you're feeling the same vibe as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!